Meitei churches being burned, I'm talking of 3 churches in Churachandpur. This is already in the record. So those 3 Meitei churches in Churachandpur, which were burned down, uh, now the logical conclusion, even if everybody is denying, let us presume that everybody denies having burned down this. But the fact is, 3 churches were burned down in the Kuki dominated areas of the Meitei, 3 Meitei churches. So somebody must have burned down. Now, the fleeing Meiteis from Churachandpur cannot burn it down. It has to be somebody else, non Meiteis. So, whether it is a Kuki, whether it is a Paite, whether it is a Mar, or somebody else. So, one has to identify that. Uh, but it is a fact that Meitei churches in Churachandpur were burned down. This is one. But the more important point that Kartike, I want to bring it to the notice. Uh, while this religious card is being played
Bhagat
out,
Saab, the reason why today I thought, I'll have only two of you, because I was like slightly disturbed. People have right to make their reports. I'm against FIRs because, that's intimidation. I'm
yeah, yeah,
against that.
true.
I'm
I agree
completely
with you.
against FIRs. People have right to say what they want to. But, I have issue with the framing of a conflict, When you frame conflicts in India, like the way UN has done it, they have used extrajudicial killing. I have been reporting with all of you for more than 125 days. This extrajudicial killing has not, I have not reported it once. They have put it in the report, extrajudicial killing. Where is the extrajudicial killing? So you have to be, they have used all those wrong words. UN has used all those wrong words. If there would have been extrajudicial killing 2 years ago, they haven't said it. But they have said it, it is being done. Like yesterday in that Editors Guild, Valley based media against the cookie community, Valley based media saying that the cookie reporters cannot write. Why are you writing such things? Who is your source to say such things? What sort of impression are you building? So are you saying that all these journalists think like that? The cookies from the hills can't write?
It's like instigating violence rather than solving the issue, rather than downplaying and helping the people to come together. Such reports are going to instigate more violence. In fact, Kartike, many of the academic fraternity in Delhi, mostly the Meiteis, they have come out and they have even said that we are not very happy with the way FIR has been filed against my colleague Dr. Hauki, who is sitting here. I mean, uh, if he has written something and if there are things objectionable, we have to academically counter each other. Not that you go into a legal frame and go for FIR. I mean, that is what
And also, Bhagat
many.
Saab, what happened with those two Maiti lawyers was also wrong because they were representing Mr.
Yeah,
Khamsam.
absolutely. That is
If I'm
that is crazy.
pronouncing his name correctly, Mr. Khamsam, the gentleman from Hyderabad. Yes, तो उनका घर
Swan,
तोड़ दिया,
Swan.
हाँ, उनका घर तोड़ दिया गया. This was very wrong. This was very
Yes,
wrong. उनके ऑफिस तोड़
those are
दिए गए.
these are not uncalled for. But I have one point to make, slightly shifting
Please,
Kartiki. I
please go
don't
ahead.
know how to make.
Today आराम से बात होगी क्योंकि इसलिए I have not cluttered it. See, only two of you here. I don't
Yeah,
want those TV.
no,
आराम से
no.
बात होगी आज.
See, Thankulal is a good colleague. I mean, my younger colleague, I must say. We have difference of opinion, but certainly we can talk. The very fact that we have agreed to each other to dialogue is itself agreement that we can still talk and sort out issues. But only thing is we have to, while we have a position, we have to come out of that and look out for amicable, solutions towards some peaceful understanding. One issue that I'm finding is, while whether it is the Editors Guild or whether it's the UN, this repertoire, independent fact finders, at the end of the day, Kartik, if you look at the message between the line, is a bad name to the government of India, to the Indian state. It is not so much between the Meitei and Kuki, but it was all targeting towards the government of India. And this is something I felt deliberately being done. One needs to take it very seriously. And I have my own reservation in the way my cookie groups
Not
have
only
been
Indian
writing.
government, I think it's about image of India as if it is, it's as if it doesn't know how to keep its minorities. It's as if it's hostile
Yes,
to
same here.
minorities.
Yeah, right,
It's like
right.
Hindus are hostile to the minority community to build that narrative. If you read it,
Kartikeya, this is a stereotype that the entire Western world had been trying to project India.
yes,
This
I
is very
agree. I
unfortunate,
agree.
but they got a chance. They got a chance in the Northeast where you find Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. These are all fairly Christian dominated region,
And it comes very
except for the
conveniently
Meiteis.
before G20 also. Very
Yes,
conveniently before G20.
yes. This is something very worrisome. But then we also have to, I would even charge it to my colleague, Dr. Hawkip, not that he is writing, but the group he represents, is that the way the cookies have been writing to the United Nations, to the Israel Prime Minister, to the European Union. So, what does that really imply when you are writing? You, not to Dr. Hawke, but I am talking of the organizations who are writing to European Union, to the British Parliament,
नहीं करना
to
चाहिए.
what you call the Christian consortium, saying that we are the victims. You are even writing to the Prime Minister of Israel, saying that we are the original Jewish community being, mistreated in India. At the end of the day, what you are charging is government of India is not doing its job. I mean, the target of the cookies should have been to the government of India. Why the cookie organizations have to write to the European Union? Why do they have to write to the Christian community in the West? Why do they have to write to the Israel Prime Minister? This is outside my understanding. The politics that should have been an internal politics of India has been internationalized, and in that process, it gives a bad name to the Indian state.
Yes. Dr. Hauke, please respond to this. I think this internationalization, writing those letters were completely avoidable, sir.
Definitely, it's completely unavoidable. But how long has this conflict, linger on? It's been more than 4 months now. We have been appealing. Everyone wants peace in Manipur on the fourth, fifth, and 6th of May. We have been, discussing, and we have been appealing that the law and order to be restored. The chief minister said, in one of his, speeches that uh, if law and order is not restored within 48 hours, he will recommend President rule to the Home Minister. But that didn't happen. A set order was, uh, you know, uh, given, but nothing happens to control the mob. So the conflict continues, and by the end of May, it once again started again. So, and spontaneously, it has been continuing for the last 4 months. And in this conflict, many have died, and during this time, there are so much desperation, despite appeals, despite many organizations, many entities saying that there is complete collapse of law and order in the state. Nothing has been done. And a few weeks back, the Home Minister was saying that the Chief Minister of Manipur is, cooperating. How is he cooperating when there is, a bifurcation of populations of the hills and the valley? So these things happens, and maybe in meantime, after 2 months, maybe, for instance, the minorities, the Kuki Joe communities started feeling that there is no point, in appealing to the central government. Also, we need certain kind of pressure
Dr.
from
Hauke, you are an
other
academician.
powerful
I'm just,
countries
Dr.
to
Hauke, you're an
help
academician.
the
Lal Denga
government.
Accord can take place. Longowal Accord can take place. Punjab Accord can take place. Why can't, let me be the devil's advocate, let me use that term, then, there are so many institutions available within the Union of India for the Kukizo community to talk to. There is no point writing letters to the Prime Minister of Israel, to write a letter to the European Commission, knowing very well that they would use it against India, not the Indian government. That it doesn't bother me. Government comes and goes. I'm a journalist. I don't care about any government. PM
True.
come and goes. I only care about India,
Indian
Bharat,
state, Indian
Bharatvarsh,
state.
in
Huh?
the state, Indian state. My concern is Indian state. My loyalty is Indian state. It stays there. The governments come and go. Dr. Hawkip.
Yes, I think my only response is that for months this violence has continued, and especially we have been aware and we have been discussing about the kind of killings, the attacks on villages in Kampopi district, like in Maphodam area, which is very close to Thobal, or in Khamenlok area, where hundreds and hundreds of villages were burned down with the complicity of state forces like the commandos and police, who were involved in who should have been neutral, who should have been controlling the people. Instead, they have become complicit in this violence and inciting violence, as many of the video evidences have indicated in Imphal and different areas. Had they been neutral and tried to act non-partisan, then the trust of the cookies on the state forces and as well as the central forces would have been solid and intact, and this violence could have been controlled on the second day itself.